Plano police are looking for the driver who hit a 12-year-old girl on her way to school and then drove away. A camera captured the SUV hitting and tossing the girl several feet early Tuesday morning. Police think their suspect lives near the scene. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with police. Peyton's in Plano tonight. Peyton?
Stephen, I also had a chance to speak with the 12-year-old girl's family. They tell me, thankfully, she was not seriously injured. She was scraped up, and she is still traumatized. Now, that Tuesday morning around 8 a.m., she continued her walk to her middle school, where she reported what happened to her school resource officer. Then Plano police got involved. They're still looking for that driver.
And it just goes.
It's a painful video to watch. And here, a crying 12-year-old girl is hit as a black SUV turns left at the intersection of Westridge and Wilson. The driver backs up and then drives off. The child gets up and continues her walk to Wilson Middle School Tuesday morning. Thankfully, no serious injuries, according to the girl's family.
So it's like my worst fear, and so it actually happening is scary.
Parents like Susie Seipert are left concerned in a neighborhood filled with families.
Everyone can make a mistake, but driving off, that was intentional, and that is not okay. That's where you made a choice to leave a child who could have been really badly hurt.
This is considered a failure to render aid, and it is a felony.
Plano police believe they're looking for a black Buick Enclave. Investigators are unsure of the model year. They're hoping someone in the neighborhood recognizes the vehicle.
Based on the time of the day, it almost seems like somebody that would probably be living in that neighborhood, and we want them to come forward.
That is just so thoughtless of someone.
Doris Dale took the same crosswalk Thursday, walking her two dogs, while offering a message to drivers.
Slow down, be careful, think of it as if it were your own kids. What would you want?
Stephen, we have posted this video, on our social media, now on our newscast. Plano police also posted this video on their social media. They tell me since the video has been posted, they have received tips. But again, that driver has not been identified and no arrest. So if you know anything, call Plano police.
Community members in Terrell, east of Dallas, gathered tonight to mourn an officer killed in the line of duty and to pray for his family. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Officer Jacob Candenoza was shot and killed Sunday night after he pulled over the driver of a pickup truck in a motel parking lot. This morning, a procession was held as his body was taken to a funeral home. Tonight, his family, members of the policing community, and the community at large gathered at the Terrell Police Department. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is in Terrell with the story. Peyton.
Stephen, we were here tonight for that vigil outside of police headquarters, and tonight Terrell's police chief spoke in front of the crowd, and he told a story. He said when he thinks of Officer Candenoza, he thinks of his great smile and also his enthusiasm. He says the two had a wonderful connection when Officer Candenoza joined Terrell Police just in July, and before that, Officer Candenoza was with the Dallas County Sheriff's Office, so you had first responders from Dallas County and also from right here in Kaufman County here tonight.
Heads bowed, flags raised, and candles lit. All for 28-year-old Jacob Candenoza, a Terrell police officer shot and killed in the line of duty. The young officer's family surrounded Wednesday evening by first responders and community members.
But I was so surprised to see so many people, and I had my candle here. I didn't want to blow it out. I just wanted it just to keep it. The blue line, I didn't realize how strong the blue line is for the funeral. I even made sure to get me a blue tie coming up. Only way I can support that.
The law enforcement family also vowing to support Candenoza's wife and daughter he left behind.
You are now our family, and we will love you with everything that we have.
Officer Candenoza was shot and killed late Sunday night after he pulled over a pickup truck in a Super 8 motel parking lot. The truck had expired tags out of Mississippi. Investigators say the driver, 25-year-old Darian Johnson, opened fire on the young police officer multiple times at close range before backup could arrive. Authorities captured Johnson hours later after he crashed out in Van Zandt County. That evening, it was all hands on deck to make an arrest. Many of them present Wednesday evening.
It's just amazing the show of love that y'all have for my son. It's unbelievable. He just loves y'all. You don't even know. I miss you so much, boy.
Now, Officer Candenoza's family says they're leaning on the love their son left behind in a community he cherished.
And in addition to the vigil tonight, the Terrell Police Department is collecting Christmas gifts for Officer Candenoza's daughter. If you want to drop off a gift, you have until Friday evening to drop off a gift here at the lobby at the Terrell Police Department. Also, we just received word that Officer Candenoza's funeral is set for Tuesday at Lake Point Church in Rockwall.
The man Dallas prosecutors say masterminded the 2022 murder of a former NFL and OU football player will spend the rest of his life in prison. Antoine Franklin was one of 3 men arrested for robbery and murder of Devonta Lampkin. The victim's family faced their loved one's killer in court today, telling Franklin he not only ruined the lives of the victim's family, he also ruined the lives of his own family. Fox 4's Alex Boyer spoke with family members after the decision, and he's in Dallas tonight. Alex.
Hey, Stephen, I have to tell you, all my years of covering court cases, this is the first time that I can remember that the entire jury has asked the judge if they could stay behind and watch the victim impact statements. I watched as some of them wept as the mother, Devonta Lampkin's mother, took the stand.
For 952 days, I have suffered.
An emotional victim impact statement from the mother of Devonta Lampkin. She spoke directly to her son's killer, Antoine Franklin, right after a jury found him guilty of capital murder.
You knew he would give you anything if you asked, because he had a heart of gold, but you took that.
It took a jury of 6 men and 6 women 2.5 hours to reach their unanimous verdict Thursday. During the trial, prosecutors argued that Franklin was the mastermind behind the robbery that resulted in Lampkin being fatally shot inside a short-term rental he was staying at in downtown Dallas on May 5th, 2022.
What do you think's going to happen when you tell somebody there's a backpack of $20,000 and possibly weed?
During the trial, the state showed Instagram messages between Franklin and co-defendant Eric Garcia the night of the murder. While taking the stand in his own defense, Franklin claimed the reason he set up the robbery was because he owed Garcia money and was afraid of him.
I was threatened, so I just planned to help the dude Eric in a way of no one getting hurt.
Surveillance video showed a man prosecutors say is Garcia and another guy enter the apartment building and wait in the stairwell for Lampkin to arrive. 40 seconds later, the man prosecutors say is Garcia is seen running out of the building with Lampkin's backpack. A friend of Lampkin found him dead a day later. I spoke to Lampkin's parents after the trial was over.
He ruined his family and my family's life, and he has to live with that for the rest of his life. If you were a friend of Devontae's, he would do anything for you.
Yeah, I have to see justice.
Some closure?
Yeah, a whole lot of closure.
And neither Franklin's attorney or family members spoke to us after the trial was over. Franklin, of course, will spend the rest of his life in prison. I'm told that his co-defendant, Eric Garcia, will be going on trial by the end of this year. I should mention that a third co-defendant was ultimately found not guilty earlier this year.
Authorities arrested 2 North Texas men, charging them for a years-long nationwide theft ring operation.
Investigators say the men and co-conspirators were able to steal nearly $500,000 worth of Lego sets before they were caught. Fox 4's Amelia Jones live with details on how the whole operation worked. Amelia.
Heather, Steve, this investigation spanned several years and involved multiple jurisdictions. Court documents say a separate arrest along with cell phone data helped authorities get on the right track to find those involved. The Texas Department of Public Safety arrested 33-year-old Brian Fleming and 33-year-old LaDarion Anderson for their role in what authorities are calling an organized crime ring. Police say the men would buy cheap items for $1 or less.
Remember to grab your receipt.
Then alter the receipts to make them look like expensive Lego sets. After that, police say co-conspirators would take the receipt with them, grab the expensive sets from the shelves, and walk out. If they were questioned, they would show the altered receipt. In total, roughly $400,000 in items were stolen.
Tip of the hat to our agents and people that recognize those barcodes and were able to link that together.
The case traces back to 2022, when a state trooper made an unrelated arrest during a traffic stop. The trooper found stolen items traced back to Walmart and Target stores. After that, investigators learned of the stolen Lego scheme. This is how Fleming and Anderson came on the radar.
It seems nonchalant. You see it all the time. It seems like it's in a little small box, but if you think about it, those Legos are very valuable to not only kids but adults and very collectible.
Investigators discovered the group had been committing crimes since 2021, and the number of stores they hit was lengthy. The group wasn't just targeting North Texas. There are stores in Austin, Houston, Oklahoma, and Florida on the list.
This just shows a good example of a complete investigation from the agent involved, the Allen PD, the retailer investigators that were assisting in this lengthy investigation. And so, good work on them, and applaud them in their hard work.
Fleming and Anderson are facing charges of engaging in organized criminal activity and theft exceeding $300,000. DPS told me more arrests are likely to come.
Police in the Fort Worth suburb of White Settlement chased a kidnapping suspect. The chase ended when the suspect's van crashed and he took off trying to scale a fence before an officer used a taser and he was put into handcuffs. Fox 4's Alex Boyer live in White Settlement with the dash camera video, the body camera footage, all from this morning's incident. Alex.
Hey, Heather, that's right. The suspect crashed out at the intersection behind me. He has a lengthy criminal history, and police say that he was wanted for family violence charges out of Wisconsin. Now he faces a multitude of new charges here, including kidnapping.
This is the man White Settlement police say kidnapped a woman and led officers on a high-speed chase Friday morning. He's 52-year-old Reginald Jameson from Wisconsin.
I received a 911 call from a woman. She's pretty hysterical, upset, crying on the phone.
Chief Chris Cook says the woman made the frantic 911 call from inside this Walmart located in West Worth Village shortly before 10 a.m. She told the dispatcher her kidnapper was in a white van in the parking lot. As responding officers arrived, police say Jameson took off.
One of my supervisors saw the van, was stopped at a red light, gets up behind it, confirms it has a Wisconsin license plate, so he knew he had the suspect vehicle.
That's where this dash camera video picks up.
Copy that, Wisconsin 28.
As the officer activated lights and sirens, the driver took off, speeding down southbound 183. At one point, he ran a red light. Luckily, no one was in the way. But when the driver ran the red light at the intersection of Camp Bowie Boulevard and Altamare Drive in Fort Worth, he slams into a pickup truck and a van carrying a mom and her children. The chase doesn't stop there.
183, he's running on foot. He's running on foot going down.
Officers continued to follow in their patrol cars as the suspect, Jameson, ran through several businesses. They finally caught up with him as he tried to scale a fence.
Get out! Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back right now!
A driver captured the takedown with his cell phone from a different angle. You can see an officer firing a taser at the suspect. Other officers arrived to help take Jameson into custody.
Relax your arm.
Jameson was taken to the Tarrant County Jail. He's facing several felony charges, including kidnapping, evading arrest, and assault family violence.
But anybody that is going to kidnap someone or hold them against their will, yeah, that's a bad suspect. Just grateful that our officers were at the right place, right time, and that he was not able to get away.
And Chief Cook tells me that the woman who was kidnapped appears to be okay. She, of course, is being checked out by medical professionals. The mom and kids who were inside that vehicle that the suspect hit were injured, but I'm told those injuries are non-life-threatening. Investigators are waiting for a warrant so that they can search the van for more clues.
Dallas police are still looking for suspects in a drive-by shooting that seriously injured a mother and daughter who were riding home from a night out. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Nikki James remains in a hospital bed after the weekend shooting. She says she was in a private ride with her 20-year-old daughter when bullets started flying at the SUV they were riding in. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with the victim, and she's live in Dallas tonight. Peyton?
Steve, and that vehicle was shot up at an intersection, Inwood Road, right up against here, a busy North Stemmons freeway. One of the victims, 37-year-old Nikki James, was rushed to a nearby hospital in critical condition. She tells me the last thing she remembers was being at that intersection and bullets started flying. A disturbing scene at the Dallas intersection of North Stemmons Freeway and Inwood Road. A bullet-riddled black Chevy Suburban and dozens of yellow evidence markers scattered in the road. Police say an unknown vehicle pulled up, opened fire on the black SUV, and then took off. Inside, 2 women were shot while riding home from a night out early Saturday morning in a private ride Nikki James says she hired.
I just seen bullets flying everywhere, and as I did get out the truck because I didn't know what was going on. I knew I was shot, and I told my daughter, like, you know, I love y'all. This must be my time.
The 37-year-old is still recovering in a North Texas hospital from a gunshot wound to the thigh, another to her foot, and a bullet also grazed her forehead. James says her 20-year-old daughter was shot twice and has since been released. The driver of the black SUV wasn't injured. No other drivers nearby were hit. However, video on scene shows the window of a City of Dallas water utilities truck shot out as employees were working in the area. James believes she was targeted by someone she knows.
I know exactly who did this, and I spoke with the police, so they have all the information they need to continue with the investigation.
Fox 4 asked Dallas police about the motive Tuesday. They wouldn't provide any additional information, only stating that the investigation is ongoing. James, thankful she and her daughter are alive, along with anyone who could have been caught in the crossfire.
It's for someone to have that much anger, people have that much anger towards someone. You need to be in jail.
Again, Steve and Heather, no arrests have been made in this case. Dallas police are still investigating. They did look at surveillance videos in the area, and they have interviewed both of the victims in this case.
A Denton County jury convicted one of 3 men for murder of a Lewisville pawn shop owner. Just one was on trial. One of the 3 men accused, though. The victim's widow spoke with Fox 4's Peyton Yeager. Peyton.
Steve, and this was a difficult trial for Daniel White's family to sit through. His wife, Yolanda, tells me she learned something new in the trial. They played the 911 call in that Denton County courtroom, and she learned that Daniel, after he was shot in the chest, was able to tell 911 a suspect description. That description, according to investigators, helped prosecutors build their case.
He took the best thing away from me. He took away a son to my dad, you know, my other half. I told him he split my soul in 2 and my heart.
Next to Yolanda White's heart lies the ashes of her husband, 54-year-old Daniel White.
He was there. I could feel him. He was there.
The precious piece of jewelry was around White's neck last week as she spoke directly to her husband's killer in court.
So I ended it with, I hope my words echo in your mind for the rest of your life.
19-year-old Jatavon Johnson will spend his life in prison without the possibility of parole. Last Friday, a Denton County jury found Johnson guilty of capital murder in the killing of the Lewisville pawn shop owner. As Daniel White was opening the shop Valentine's Day 2023, Johnson and 2 others attempted to rob the store, and White was shot in the chest. During the trial, prosecutors stated Johnson pulled the trigger. Brothers Denarion Skinner and DeMonta Skinner were also arrested and charged with capital murder. The 2 are waiting to go to trial. For Yolanda, facing Johnson was her biggest worry.
It's behind me. I have no worry anymore. You know, I feel like I can move forward.
Moving forward means running the pawn shop her husband poured his life into. Now she feels it's her purpose.
If Daniel would have survived, he was the kind of man that would have forgiven him. I am nowhere near that. As deep as my faith is, I can't do that right now.
And Stephen, Heather, I checked in with the Denton County District Attorney's Office about what's next for the Skinner brothers. They couldn't say much, but they did tell me that plea deals are still on the table. They obviously both can still proceed to go to trial. They both appear in court next week.
Tomorrow marks 40 years since the disappearance of a Fort Worth woman. Her body found 9 years later.
With no arrests made in the case, friends of Angie Ewert, who are still searching for answers. Fox 4's Lori Brown is in Fort Worth with our story.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m., friends of Angie Ewert are going to be gathering here near the location where her car was found 40 years ago, with very few clues around it.
Hopefully this will get some notice and they'll find some answers.
Robert Jacobs was a classmate of Angela Ewert, who went by Angie, and so was Laurie Henderson, who graduated with Ewert in 1981.
If you got the dictionary out and looked up the word sweet, you would see her picture. You would see her picture. She was just one of the sweetest girls ever.
One of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
I just remember this gorgeous blonde walking in and smiling, and she sat right behind me, and we just became fast friends.
Ewert was a leader at Eastern Hills High School, found on page after page of her senior annual.
She was drill team. She loved to sing. She was a runner-up in our Miss Big E contest that we held every year.
Well, behind us, Clark Stadium is where she danced so many times with the drill team in high school.
After graduating, Ewert went on to work in radio.
Actually, she was a programmer working at the Eagle at KEGL, and I was in, television. So we used to, talk about what we, our media love.
But December 10th, 1984, Angie Ewert disappeared. According to Fort Worth police records, Ewert's fiance said she left his house at 11 p.m. to go to her parents' home where she was living. The next morning, her father called. She had never come home. The police report says Ewert's fiance retraced her route home. He told police he stopped at a 7-Eleven where a clerk said she saw her stop and buy gas that night. Then he found her car a short distance away near Loop 820 near a creek. But unlike the other Fort Worth cases, Ewert's body was not found for nearly a decade.
That's the other thing that complicates the case is they didn't find her for 9 years.
9 years.
93.
And they found her out in Johnson County.
The only clues by her car, according to the police report, was a broken pocket knife. Police noticed the car had a spare tire. Inside the car was her old tire. It was shredded, but the treads were good.
I have no doubt that Fort Worth PD is doing everything they can. I hope that you will keep pursuing answers and use whatever resources you have, any new technology, and don't forget Angie.
Just try to get closure for her mother and for all of her friends. I mean, it's been 40 years, and that's a long time to be without a friend.
I asked Fort Worth police if the case is still open and active. A spokesman repeated that they are unable to provide any updates on the case. In Fort Worth, Lori Brown, Fox 4 News.